All right, so today we're diving into something pretty fascinating, I think. Looking at how Hume can be used to fight back against tyranny.
Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah.
And the material you sent over on Charlie Chaplin's The Great Dictator, this is gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
So this is a film he made satirizing Hitler, even before the world really knew the extent of the horrors of the Nazi regime.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, he was taking a big risk. A lot of people weren't sure about how bad the Nazis really were,
Mm.
and it wasn't a sure thing they were going to lose the war.
Yeah.
So making fun of Hitler at that time, I mean, wow, that's pretty brave.
Well, and the way he does it too, right? He really brings out the absurdity of Hitler, like all those weird speeches and those crazy temper tantrums. Like he just blows them up to be so comical.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's really smart, actually. By exaggerating those things, he's kind of playing on our natural dislike for people who take themselves too seriously.
Mm.
Like, look at this guy. He thinks he's so important, but he's just a joke.
Yeah.
And we still see that today, you know? Like late night comedy shows or those satirical news sites, they all make fun of politicians and powerful people by making them look silly.
It's like they're saying the emperor has no clothes, right?
Exactly. They're breaking that illusion of
Yeah.
power.
It makes you think differently about them.
And that brings us to another point, which is uh, the power of laughter to overcome fear. I mean, dictators thrive on fear, right? It's how they control people. But Chaplin's film uses humor as a way to fight back against that fear.
Right. When you laugh at something, it loses its power to scare you.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also like a subtle way of rebelling.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Dictators want everyone to worship them, but satire takes that away completely.
Right.
Chaplin turned Hitler into a clown.
He absolutely did. He said, look, we're not afraid of you. We see right through you.
It's brilliant. And he also made this whole complex and terrifying thing like fascism understandable to a wider audience. I mean, a lot of people wouldn't want to sit through a boring political lecture, but they'd watch a funny movie.
Right. It's like humor is a gateway drug to get people interested in serious topics.
Especially for folks who find that regular political talk too dry or scary.
Yeah.
It's a way to make those topics easier to swallow. But, it's interesting. Chaplin later said that he might not have made the film if he had known the true horrors of the Nazi regime.
Yeah, that's pretty thought-provoking. It really makes you wonder about the limits of satire, right?
Right.
Like, when is humor okay when dealing with really serious stuff? Where do we draw the line? It's a tough question.
No easy answers there. So what can we learn from Chaplin's approach? Well, it shows us that humor has real lasting power as a tool for resistance and social commentary.
Hmm.
It can expose hypocrisy, help us overcome fear, and get us to think critically about the world around us.
Yeah, and that's why it's so important to protect free speech, especially when it comes to satire and comedy.
100% agree. So as you think about all this, I want you to ask yourself, has satire ever changed your mind about something? Why or why not? And what role do you think humor can play in fighting injustice and challenging authority?
Good questions, yeah.
Keep thinking about those things as you learn and explore more.
Great stuff.
Thanks for being here.
My pleasure.
All right, and we'll see everyone next time for another deep dive.